Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 33 of Boutique Talk. My name is Jake Boston, otherwise known as Steelbook Obsessed on all your major social media platforms. And if you want to listen to all things physical media related, then you've come to the right place. Every week, I have on a new guest to talk about their physical media journey. And tonight, my guest organizes his collection in such a unique way that both brings me joy and anxiety. It's DJ from Films by Color.
How's it going, man? What's up, man? Wow, so professional. Your streams are so much better than mine.
I don't know about that. I always have a rigmarole at the very beginning because that's how my brain works. I'm like, okay, I need to write something out because I'm terrible on the fly trying to think of stuff.
No, yeah, that's cool. I need to maybe like hire Chat GPT to write some intros for me or something.
That would be a good one, yeah. Speaking of good one, I mean, you gave me behind the curtain, look behind the curtain here. You gave me like 3 movies to choose from, and one of them was this animated movie, Fantastic Planet. And I'm like, if I'm having Films by Color on here, we should have like one of the most colorful movies I've ever seen. This thing is a wild ride, to say the least.
Yeah, man. And that was like the one of the 3 I gave you that I'm like least familiar with. I felt least qualified to talk about, but I've just been in a big animation kick lately. I've been buying a lot of, and we'll talk about it here in a minute, but I've been buying a lot of other animated movies from other boutique labels lately. And, but I've always been Criterion. Like Criterion's been my biggest label forever. So
very good.
I had to pick a Criterion.
Sure. That was the first boutique label I ever knew about. I worked at Hollywood Video. They had a huge section of just Criterion. I'm like, what is this? What is a Criterion? And then I went into a rabbit hole, and I've loved collecting boutique ever since.
Yep. Same thing. That's where I started as well.
Well, very good. That's where you started with Criterion. But where did you start collecting wise? As a kid, were you always into movies, or were there other things you liked collecting?
Yeah, I've always been a collector. As long as I can remember. I remember my parents own a they're martial arts instructors. That's what they've always done. So they've had a studio since I was born. So I was hanging out there all day, and I remember I was like 5 or 6. There was a card shop right next door in the same strip mall. Remember card shops? I don't even think they exist anymore, but I remember the first thing I ever collected, I went over there and they had a little like gumball machine with bouncy balls in it. And I would go over there every day and put in a quarter. And I had just like a shoebox full of just bouncy balls. I don't know why I was collecting bouncy balls, but I was collecting those. Then I moved on to like trading cards. I had like Pokemon cards and superhero cards and action figures, comics. Like I've always been collecting. So if I wasn't collecting movies today, I'd be collecting something else. That's how my brain works. I don't know how to explain it. I just like displaying stuff on the shelf. Like that's mainly why I collect. I know a lot of collectors, or some collectors, just like film, and collecting is just a necessity for them. Like they have to collect in order to, because they appreciate the physical media part. But yeah, it's as much about the collecting as it is about the films for me, I think.
I've always loved the thrill of the hunt of gathering things. I guess it's like the main reason. Like, as I've always collected a ton of things as a kid. I didn't really get started with movies until I had a paycheck of my own to actually like start gathering that stuff. Before then, it was like, hey, Mom, can I borrow a quarter to get something out of this machine just so I can have a collection of them? And that's kind of what my kids do too. At least my youngest, she's really into collecting really anything she can get her hands on. So I'm trying not to spread the bug. I want them to make their own choices with collecting. But yeah, it's kind of fun to see her kind of ebb and flow with collecting as well. I know you have children as well. Have they got the bug yet at all?
I've got 2. My son, I said I collected like Marvel superhero action figures as a kid. I've gotten a little bit back into that as an adult, like because they're crazy now, like the Marvel Legends and stuff. So I've been buying those for like my kids to play with. My daughter will play with them with me, and she likes having little figurines like from different properties and stuff. But he's not. He's more of a video game kid. So he's the older one. He's 5. She's 3 though. So she still likes little toys and stuff. So she's, of the 2, I think she's going to be more into that kind of stuff than he is. But they both love the movie collection. They come in here. I let them come in and pick something off the wall every Friday night, and we go watch it. So
every Friday night's our movie night too, family movie night. It's the best.
Frozen pizzas and picking a movie off the shelf. That's what we do.
We pick up food, just like fast food, restaurant food, anything, and then bring it home and do a family movie night. And I think tomorrow, my youngest is in a big anime kick right now. So we're going to watch some Studio Ghibli. I'm not sure which one. It's got to be a new one. That's my thing. I'm like, we can't just watch Totoro every time. I love Totoro as well, but we got to kind of expand your horizons a little bit.
Totoro's right back. He's behind my mic. You can't see him, but I love that big edition back
there. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Looks kind of like a children's like board book But yeah, that was what I did as a kid too. We had a VHS collection as a family. We didn't have cable. We only had movies, so we were a big movie family. We would go to the video rental store every Friday night. Back when video rental stores were like in grocery stores. Do you remember
They were the
that?
best.
It was
Yeah,
so
they were
cool. You just get the
everywhere.
food
Yeah.
and the movie and just go home. It was great. So we'd get a couple each weekend and watch them through the weekend. So yeah, we were a big movie family. But like you said, I didn't start collecting like my own physical media collection until I was like in late high school when I got my first job. And I didn't start till Blu-ray. I had like a few scattered DVDs, but like actually when I started collecting was Blu-ray. So all this is Blu-ray and some 4K back there.
Right. Well, when you say all this stuff back there, you see me, it looks like a jumbled mess compared to your amazing looking collection. The rainbow aesthetic is shining very bright. What gave you the idea of organizing your collection by color? I've never seen anything else like it.
Yeah, it wasn't even like for YouTube or anything. It wasn't like a gimmick. I did it like that for years before I
Hmm.
started the channel. We What it was we lived in a tiny little townhome before we got our first house. We were like renting a townhome, very small, and the only place to store the collection, there were like this little skinny row of bookshelves like right in the main living area. So it was like, this is where we have to put the collection. If it's going to be right here where everyone's going to see it, we want it to look good. We want to make it look the best we can. So we really focused on like the aesthetic of it. Because before that, I had arranged them like all different kinds of ways. I did it alphabetically like everybody does. I did it by year. I did it by studio. I did it by genre. And so I've done everything. But yeah, me and my wife just settled on color because it was in there. We both had to live with it every day, and we wanted it to look really nice. So we decided to go with that, and it just stuck. And it's probably like doubled in size since then. But yeah, it was just out of necessity because it was right there.
Sure.
Well, not necessity, but it was a choice because we wanted it to look nice because people were coming over and like, oh, you got DVDs in your living room? What are you doing? So
Yep. Nope. Whenever I have people come over, specifically family, they come down here. We either like watch something on TV and they see this collection. They just kind of are staring at me a little bit too long. They're like, "Why do you have all this stuff?" I'm like, there's a plethora of reasons, but like picture quality is the main thing for me. When you, since you're collecting by color, when you're looking to add movies to the collection, do you specifically look for different colored spines just so it can kind of like fit in a certain piece in the collection?
I guess sometimes that comes up. It's not like a huge priority. I will say I hold on to things. There's stuff back here that I should probably get rid of that I'm never going to watch again. But since it's my background and it's like filling in a spot, like a color, I'm like, well, like for instance, there's a stupid example. Like Cinderella just came out with a 4K, like the classic Disney Cinderella. Yeah. So it's right there in the purple. And then the Blu-ray is also right there in the purple. I should get rid of the Blu-ray. I don't need it anymore, but it's filling out the small purple section. So I just keep it. Eventually, when I start running out of space, then I'll have to start getting rid of stuff. But yeah, it's good to hold on to stuff, or like the lesser known. Like there's not very many greens, not very many purples. Like so the smaller sections. Yeah, it is nice when you find a spine. Most spines are black or blue. Like that's pretty much everything. It's Blu-ray, so they're all blue. Or especially like from the mid 2000s, like everything was blue because it's Blu-ray. It's like that. Everything's got to be blue. And then like most things are black. 4Ks are all black, which kind of annoys me. Like, why does every single spine on the 4Ks have to be black?
Right.
But
do you see yourself not picking up Kino Lorber because it's just all black with white letters? Like that would bug me. I know if I was going by color.
Yeah, Kino Lorber's all back there on the bottom right there. I've had to move it over. Like what you guys can't see, there's a whole third column over there.
Really?
And that's all my Criterion stuff. And I thought about shooting from over there, but since we're talking about Criterion, my podcast, Criterion Corner, I shoot over there in the corner. But I knew you wanted to talk about the color, so I thought I should sit over here and sit in front of the color shelves.
I'm okay for any way you want to kind of film your setup, man. I've really only seen this. I haven't heard the Criterion Corner. I need to give that a listen. You probably watched way more Criterion movies than I have, even though Criterion was the first boutique label I really started heavily collecting for. I probably have around 40, 45-ish, but I know I'm going to pick up more because of the sale going on in July. We can also talk about that a little bit on this podcast.
Starts tomorrow, man.
Yeah. Oh, does it? Is it tomorrow? Oh boy, because Kino Lorber is going right now, which kind of exploded out of anywhere. Like Kino Lorber just said, "Yeah, we're starting now," and I guess Criterion is tomorrow. Do you have a wish list of movies that you're just waiting to get? Do you usually wait for the sales to pick up your Criterions?
Yeah. I've only ever picked them up. I've only been really into Criterion for like 3 years. It's
Hmm,
been like right when I started this channel is when I got into Criterion.
sure.
So it's only been the sales. I go crazy on this. I need to chill this time because I've always gone too crazy on the sales. I'm up to about like 350 right now.
Oh my God! Wow, very nice. Yeah,
Titles. I mean,
right.
releases. There's like multiple movies in some of those, but yeah,
Mhm.
like especially the Bergman set. I don't know if you have the Bergman box set, but there's like 33 films in there or something crazy.
Right. Do you have a favorite out of all the ones you have?
Oh,
I know
that's
350 is a
tough.
lot to choose from.
Yeah, there's I don't even know. There's one here that I'm about to mention that I really like. That's an awesome set that I would recommend. But it's mostly the box sets. I'm a box set boy. Like I love big old box sets, and they've got
Yep.
like
Yep.
the Jacques Tati box set, the Jacques Demy box set. There's an Alfred Hitchcock. Oh, the Guillermo del Toro, I would say, is my favorite, like packaging wise. I don't know if
No,
you've
that's
seen the
it.
trilogy. The
I
trilogy,
have. Yep.
it's
Hmm.
crazy. It's so nice.
So since we kind of threw an extra topic in here that we'll get to a little bit later, but I also kind of wanted to talk about the organization aspect. You kind of
Mhm.
talked about your evolution of your organization of your collection. Your Criterion, is that color based too, or how is that is that number spined? I know that's a big thing in the Criterion community.
It is. It is actually colored. I put it in colored as well.
Hmm.
And I can't really turn my camera. I think my light's going to be in the way. But
It's
yeah,
all good.
it's by color right now. Briefly thought about doing spine number, but I would never be able to find anything that
Correct.
way.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Like, I get the collectability aspect of like collecting every number, and that's just a certain way to kind of get you to get all of them. But I, my brain doesn't work like that. I worked at Hollywood Video for a year. I do alphabetical, and that's just the way it is. I can find stuff real quick.
Yeah. And color actually, people always, that's like the first thing people ask, how do you find anything? It's actually it's actually faster for me, I think, because
Hmm.
I don't know, just the way my brain works. I remember visuals. I'm a very visual person, so I remember
Sure.
color. So I can just like go right to. Usually, I can go right to it and grab it instead of having to go like A B C D E and like find out where the letter is. I can just jump right to it. And if there is ever one that I can't find, it happens rarely. Like I can't remember where it is. I do have all my stuff cataloged in an app, and
Yep.
then I can just put a I put a tag on all of them, like locate. You can put a location. I just put the color, so I can just find it. So it's not a big deal.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I don't know about you, but like sometimes I'm in the mood to watch a movie I haven't seen before. So
Mhm.
instead of looking at the collection, I look at my app, and there's a way to organize it to be like, hey, these
Yeah.
are movies I've seen before, these are movies I haven't. I just click on there, and then I find one just scrolling through because it shows all the covers of every single thing I use the My Movies app. So it's just
Yeah.
very
Same. So do I.
it's very clean to use. And
I haven't upgraded to 5 yet. I'm still on my movies 4 or whatever the model is. But no, it's great. You can put tags. You can put like categories. I like to put like boutique as one of the categories, so I can just
yeah,
flip it to boutique and see all my
yeah,
boutiques or all my criterions.
yeah. You can actually organize it by studio release, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah. I could talk about My Movies forever.
That could be a whole nother video. Yeah,
Right. I
I'm
had
trying
a
to tell people about it. Everyone uses like the other one, the C something, and I'm like,
CLZ. Matt
yeah,
McCarthy
I
was
don't
on the
like that one.
episode
It's
before that, and he likes to use that because it does different formats. It does Blu-ray. It goes all the way back to like VHS, which I totally get if you
okay.
are that big of a physical media collector. But me, I really only care about my Blu-rays and 4Ks. I have some DVDs. That's just a wild west over
Yeah,
there. Like
same. I'm
I'll
exactly the
get to
same.
it whenever I get to it, but I don't know if I'll ever have time because there's still like Blu-rays and 4Ks that I need to watch, and that's definitely my main priority for sure.
Yeah, same. I don't know if you can see it, but there's cabinets down here. That's where the DVDs are. They're underneath. I
Yep.
just have like some scattered ones that don't have Blu-ray releases yet.
Right. Everybody's got a little DVD dungeon in their collection. I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where we hide them away because we're ashamed.
Correct. Yeah. Or just things haven't been upgraded, like you said. Yeah. It's just
Yeah,
I don't I like looking at them because that was probably peak packaging, especially for like mainstream titles. Boutiques have really kind of gone in and went above and beyond even what packaging used to be in the DVD days. But it's like a relic, it's like a thing stuck in time, popping in a DVD, seeing those awesome DVD menus that pop up. Like I miss those a lot. I hate going to a
yeah,
4K and it's just like a still image. I'm like, no work was put into this whatsoever. It drives me nuts. Tear comes to my eye, man.
yeah. I miss the heyday of supplements too. Like, I mean, boutiques
Yeah.
do a good job on supplements or bonus features, but like studio releases suck these days with bonus features. There's nothing. Nobody does commentaries anymore. It's so sad.
Are you a big commentary guy?
Yes, I love commentaries. No commentary on this movie we're talking about today, which is unfortunate. I would have loved one, but
once we get into that release, there are a couple of supplementals that I love having as part of like bonus features. The main reason why I collect physical, one of the main reasons is because of the bonus features. It's because I watch the movie, I fall in love with it, and I want to dig more into the movie, learn as much as I possibly can, and then kind of go on to the next one. So it's nice to kind of, with this movie, for example, I was able to do a lot of research after I watched it, which is nice. The movie is it's like 77 minutes long or something. So I was still like rip roaring, ready to go. I watched a couple of things afterwards. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love physical media so much.
Yeah, same. Supplements and packaging. I'm such a packaging nerd.
Yeah, that's why I fell in love with like boutique label stuff, is because the packaging was just next level. I got sick of like having the basic Blu-ray packaging or 4K with the black. It's just like, I want something more. Like, especially I have around 2,500 titles, and you get old. It doesn't get old like finding the movies you like, but if you find the movie that you've been wanting and it's just in like basic packaging, you're like, I guess I'll add this, but. No, I found like an AGFA release when I was looking at a third party like secondhand store, and I'm like, yep, it comes with a slipcover and everything. I think I'll like this movie, but I'm definitely grabbing it because it's cheap and the packaging looks amazing.
Yeah. I'm the guy who will like, because I've got so much back here anyway that I haven't watched yet or that I would want to rewatch. If there's a limited edition version of something, I'll just wait. I'm patient. I don't have to buy the standard edition yet. Like I'll just wait until I find a good deal for the limited edition or the slipcover or whatever. Like that's usually how it is these days, since I've got such a backlog anyway. It's not like I'm in a hurry to get something unless I need to watch it for some specific reason. I'll buy the standard version, but I like to wait. Like I'm still waiting for that Picnic at Hanging Rock second sight because it's awesome, but it's like outrageous on eBay right now. Like I can't afford it. There's a couple big ones that I'm trying to wait for, but I don't know if I'll ever get them.
Nope, I totally feel you there. And one good thing about Criterion is that you can kind of wait because their stuff doesn't really sell out.
Yeah, they don't do the limited edition thing, no.
Right. It's kind of nice to be like, oh, okay, I don't need to spend $35, $45 on this release right now. I can wait until it's on sale because more often than not, it's still going to be there when I want to buy it.
Yeah, there's a few circumstances where they like lose the rights to something. Like the Third Man Blu-ray that I have it went out of print really early, and also the Man Who Fell to Earth was another one. There's a few of them that have gone out of print, but usually if you wait, like another company will get the rights. Like I'm an idiot and paid like $100 for the Man Who Fell to Earth Blu-ray, and then Lionsgate released the 4K right afterwards.
That steelbook looks really nice, by the way, too.
Yeah, it's cool. I actually have it. It's not mine. I bought it for a friend because he couldn't find one at his Best Buy, so I haven't seen him yet. So I haven't given it to him yet, but it's still back there on the shelf.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know if there's any more like organization things that I want to talk about. You kind of drilled through a lot of them, whether it be like alphabetical or I think spine number was another one that you said. What was another way? What other ways have you organized your collection, and like why did you decide to go away from that?
I used to do it by genre.
That was it.
When I first started collecting, I was just a high school nerdy kid. Pretty much all I bought was like superhero movies, sci-fi movies, fantasy movies. So it was much easier to do genre back then. Nowadays, like a lot of it is like just dramas or like, big straight movies. Like there's not really a genre stuff. So it made sense to do it by genre a while ago. When I had a smaller collection. That's why I was trying different things. I did it by year for a little bit. I did it by studio for a little bit because, it kind of looks nice when you have all the Warner Brothers because they put all the little logo at the bottom or all the Disney stuff next to each other. But all of that made more sense when I had like a smaller collection. Now I'm not as far as you, but I'm at like 1,700, 1,800. So it doesn't make sense to do those crazy things. I have to stick with this now because that's what my channel's called, but I still like it. So
you brand it. There's no going back. Yeah.
Unless I do a big rebrand or something.
Do you have enough space in your collection right now to like keep on going for a while with like the setup you have?
No, I mean, it's getting tight. It's getting pretty tight. I can, there's a little bit of room over on the Criterion section and I can turn these box sets sideways, or there's also space up on the top. I can throw all those big box sets up there. So that'll free up some space, but I am gonna have to start tightening up on what I buy, and I am gonna have to start selling some stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff
Mhm.
back here that I just don't need to hang on to. When I first started collecting in high school, I used to buy like multiple copies of my favorite movies. So like
Yeah,
I have like several copies of Batman Begins, like 4 or 5 copies. I can sell off all those. I don't need to keep all that. So
right.
I can cut down quite a bit and make room for new stuff.
My favorite movie of all time is John Carpenter's The Thing. So I think I have like 8 or 9 different versions of that movie. But I'm a big steelbook collector. So there's a lot of like very cool artwork, and like none of them really kind of like lapse up on top of each other. Like they all look different. So I like collecting that many pieces just because it's my favorite movie. I want like as many of them as possible. It's weird, but yeah, that's kind of the way my brain works with my favorite things, I guess.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. There's a couple that I'd like to get second copies
Mhm.
of as well.
I guess one question before we go to the next topic: what's your favorite color, and what's your favorite movie in that color?
Oh man, I should have prepared for that. My favorite color is blue, like
Okay,
kind of like a lighter
you got a lot to choose from then.
cyan blue.
Okay,
Um, but man, favorite. I'm gonna have to like spin around here. I don't. Hey, favorite color in blue. Whew, you put me on the spot. Well, I guess actually it's not that hard. I'll just go with. I don't know if you've seen this box set, this Three Colors box set over here. Have you heard of the Three Colors
I
trilogy?
have red, white, and blue. Yeah,
Yeah, so
I've
there
never
is
seen them, but I've heard of it.
and I guess I could just slide over.
Ooh, got the rolly chair and everything. Advanced.
So this
I have
is
seen that.
maybe the coolest box set I own. It's so nice. I opted to go with this. This is Curzon's edition instead of the
Yeah.
Criterion
Yep.
because I just wasn't sold on the Criterion. Criterion's not the best at box sets. I love Criterion. I'm a Criterion shill. But I mean, constructive criticism, they're not the best at box sets. Their box sets are kind of flimsy
Yeah.
digipacks. They
That
usually
looks
get
like it should be in a library or something. That looks
like
so just
no,
nice.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like a cloth bound book texture.
Mhm.
It's this is just a slipcase, and then you open it up, and then this is another slipcase under
Nice.
here,
Yeah,
and
that's just
then
class.
finally you get to the digipack. Like this is so nice. There's a booklet in there. There's like art cards and
Yeah.
like 10 discs or something. There's like
Wow.
Blu-rays and 4Ks and bonus
Very
discs.
cool.
Like there's a ton of stuff, and this is really these movies are incredible as well. So I would love to get more of the Curzon stuff. They have like
Mhm.
4 or 5 box sets so far, but yeah, that's got to be the best thing on the blue shelf.
I just signed a deal with Curzon, so I will be getting their new release titles, and I can't remember which ones
Oh,
they're coming up with, but they have another nice, huge box set like that with like 5 or 6 movies in it. Can't wait because I don't have any of their stuff in my collection because I really only have heard about them the past like 6 months or so. I think I remember when that red, white, and blue one came out, and I was like, "Dang, that looks sharp."
yeah, it's super nice, man. Oh, you got to teach me your ways. I don't know how you get in touch with all these companies. I'm new to this. I'm pretty new to this.
It's
But
just growing a following. Now that's the main thing, and then you can kind of say, "Hey, throw some feelers out, see if people want to sign on, jump on board or not."
yeah,
That's
no,
about
yeah.
all there is to it. Yeah,
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
yeah, I'm pretty pumped for it. But I'm a big fan of all things boutique labels. Do you have any other favorites instead of? I guess Criterion is your main go-to, but are there any other ones that you like to collect for?
Yeah, Criterion was the big one. That's the one I started with, but I've actually taken a break, kind of chilled out this last year, and I've been branching out and trying like a bunch of different ones. So,
Hmm.
um, Indicator, I'll give a shout out to
Sure.
Indicator. It's a UK company. They
Mhm.
do the best box sets out of anybody. Um, Also, Eureka, another UK company that I wish I could like get a deal with. They reposted one of my videos on their Twitter one time, and I was like,
Nice.
I freaked out. But no, I love their stuff. That I have some of their limited editions as well.
Hmm.
Like the Cabin of Dr. Caligari. I don't know if you've seen that one, but
I haven't.
it's
No.
beautiful. The Pandora's Box one that they did earlier this year, I got. So I love Eureka. Def Crocodile is probably my favorite right now. I've
Hmm.
really been into Def Crocodile. They're a new label. They've only got about
Yeah.
22 spine numbers, but I've got like
Well,
12 of them
I was gonna say
because
I
I
saw that you I saw your recent like pickups video from Vinegar Syndrome. You got a lot of those like really $10 cheap going out of business sale deals there. I
yeah,
should
well
have grabbed some of
they
those.
oh yeah, they cut the deal with Vincent, so they're not with them
Yeah.
anymore. They're going through Diabolique, but
Yep.
they put out great stuff. They're doing a lot of animation, which is
Hmm.
on theme with what we're talking about tonight. I also really like Second Run. Second Run's a really cool label from
Hmm.
overseas. They put out a lot of similar titles to what Criterion would be, but it's mostly like Czech films and films from Hungary and Russian films, like international stuff. So I love them too. And obviously, Kino Lorber's great. They just put out so much stuff. They're pretty much bare bones released, but they do good transfers and stuff. But yeah, those are the big ones I do. There's a bunch of others, but like little small ones like Oscilloscope Labs or Olive Films and Shout Select and stuff like that. Radiance, I just made my first Radiance order nice. a couple weeks ago, so I'll let you know how they are. They seem pretty much just like Criterion, just the UK version of Criterion.
Yeah, yes, more or less. Yeah, it's run by one of the guys who helped start Arrow Video. So it's
and Arrow. I didn't even mention Arrow. Yeah, Arrow's wonderful,
right, of course.
Especially the old Arrow Academy stuff, like when they used to be split. Like some of those box sets are crazy. That's another holy grail of mine is the Decalogue box set from Arrow Academy.
Yeah,
it's like $250. I'm never going to get my hands on it.
Do it. Yeah, no. Well, one of these days, something like that will come out again. The way that the physical media community is kind of just like growing in, like it feels like everybody is trying to battle against each other boutique label wise to try to be like, hey, we've got a really cool thing to show you, and they just like keep on battling against one another. So I know that one of these days, like if there's a main top tier holy grail thing that I want, it'll probably get re-released and probably re-released in 4K sooner rather than later. So I find myself sitting on my hands all the time.
Yeah. It's I like search eBay like every day. I just have so many things in my watch list that's just sitting there. It's like $500. I'm never gonna buy it, but I just want to keep tabs on stuff. Like it's just like it's like
put an alert on there. Yeah,
you never know. Search is great, like where you can like tag a search and they send you a message every time something pops up. I've got some cool stuff that way. Real quick.
Sure, but well, let's see. We have a few comments in here.
Oh, Henry's here. Awesome.
Henry, first viewer and subscriber. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming to the channel. We got Born Pasta, first time tuning in. You're bringing in all the newbies for me. I appreciate that, DJ. Great to hear. And then we got Rocky Matt too, watching you has renewed my love for collecting physical media. Very, very cool, man. I appreciate the love. Yeah.
I've been trying to plug you. Like on the last couple of streams, I was like, I'm gonna be on Steelbook Obsessed channel. Go over and check it out. So I felt bad. I in that Vincent video that you were talking about, I mentioned I was gonna be on a podcast, but I forgot to plug the name. So thank you for leaving the comment there because I totally messed that up.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No mess ups here needed. But I do kind of think we were talking a little bit about boutique labels. We're talking about an animated movie today. Let's go into the next topic, which is kind of showcasing what animated movies are coming out from some of these other boutique labels. Do you want to go first? Or I think I have about like 10 to show off.
All right. I grabbed about that much from other labels. And then I did go ahead and grab all of the animated movies that are in Criterion Collection because there's only 6. Yeah. There's literally only 6. So
I think that should be like the big grand finale. And a couple of mine are from Criterion. And I don't know if you're counting just straight up animation. I have like some CG animation. I have some stop motion animation mixed in there.
Same.
Okay, perfect. I will start out with a boutique label that we haven't talked about yet on this podcast, but I've had somebody that has worked with the company on the podcast, and that's Umbrella Entertainment.
Oh.
Mad Monster Party. It's a Rankin Bass animated film.
Man, I'm not even familiar with this. This looks awesome.
I'll make, every time we talk about a release, I'll kind of make it bigger just so you can kind of see what we're looking at. I am going to watch it this Spooky Dookie season. It came out like last November, so I wasn't in the mood to watch anything horror related, but this box set came with a lot of cool things. It came with like enamel pins of these people's faces. It came with posters. It came with, it was a big box set full of very, very cool stuff. And I'm a sucker for stop motion animation. Like I will watch Rudolph every year, Frosty every year, Santa Claus Comes to Town, that type of thing. And one thing that I like about Umbrella is that every one of their releases is numbered. I'm a sucker for numbers. I don't know if you are or not, but just anything limited and just to see what number you got. I don't know why that scratches an itch in my brain that I like.
Totally know what you mean. There's been times where there's like this person on like the Facebook. I don't know if you're in the Facebook groups. Like that's where you get the good deals. Like, because they're way cheaper than.
Yeah, I should be in more, I think.
Yeah, there's an Indicator one, and this guy was selling a bunch of the Indicator limited editions, and I was the loser who was like, "Do you have the J card with the limited number on it?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Sorry, I can't buy it."
I'm out.
Because that's the whole point of it being limited edition. I wish they didn't put it on the J card. I wish they actually put it on the release somewhere. That's the one thing about the indicator box sets that kind of sucks.
Right.
Because they just put it on the little on this little slip thing, right? Well, not even, some of them don't even have slips. They're just like a J card like you just showed. But that looks awesome. I'm a big sucker for like spooky movies to watch around Halloween or watch around Christmas. And Rankin Bass is great.
Good one to watch with the family too. It's pretty, I'm assuming it's clean. It's Rankin Bass. So just I didn't even know this existed until they had a release of it. So I'm like, I'm a sucker for that. A new family tradition. Let's go for it for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And let's kind of ping pong back and forth. So if you want to show one of yours,
sure,
kind of do the tit for tat.
I will go with some of the Deaf Crocodile ones. I haven't seen these yet because like you said, I just bought them. But they're doing some crazy stuff over there with animation. Like I said, they only have about 20 spine numbers, but they've already, like, most of them are animation. So I'm gonna go with, where'd it go here? I've got so many here. These two were like very recent. This is like the Tune and Benny's Bathtub. These are both ones I picked up from Vincent in that video that you saw. Yep. Very weird, like super surreal. I love this period of animation where we just had, there's no limits. Like you just do whatever you wanted. Any kind of art style. I kind of hate 3D animation. I like 3D animation's fine, but I hate what it did to animation because now, like, the last 12 Disney movies have all just looked the same. Like there's no difference. They all just have the same character designs. Whereas before that, we were just doing whatever. Even Disney was like mixing it up. But now everything looks the same. And I just love these crazy, I don't know what's going on here. This is apparently like just a crazy movie about a kid who like goes down his bathtub and like goes down and has an adventure in the ocean.
On YouTube, I'm a big fan of the channel Dead Pit Radio, and every time they do like a Vincent sale, they always watch the trailer for Benny's Bathtub. So I've probably seen that trailer 8-10 times, and it looks wild. But like, I would not watch that one with the kids. It's very kind of Fantastic Planet-y. Like there's some nudity mixed in there. Just a wild adventure ride, but it looks like an interesting time for sure.
Yeah, that's what, and I think most of these are adult animation from Deaf Crocodile. Sure. I don't think they're, although this Benny's Bathtub does have some special features that are episodes of a children's television show. So that's what's great about this. This one also, the Tune, has a ton of animated shorts by the same director.
I love that. Yeah.
Which is Bill Plimpton. So you really get a lot of bang for your buck, especially because I got these for $10. So
absolutely.
I was very happy. These are the limited edition slipcover versions. So I lucked out on those, but yeah, I'm excited to dive into those. Like I said, I've been on an animation kick because of all the films I was watching for this podcast to get prepared for this. And then also the ones I've been buying from Deaf Crocodile. So perfect. Those look fun.
Okay. Let's see here. You showed off some Deaf Crocodile. I will show off. This is a label in the UK. I count it boutique. I don't know if it is, or I don't know if it's just boutique to me because I'm in the States and these are UK's. But we get Shudder originals from RLJE. Over the UK, they kind of like have their own Shudder label. So two that I just wanted to kind of shine a spotlight on are Mad God and The Spine of Night. I don't know if you've seen either of these.
I know about Mad God, but I haven't seen it.
I did not like Mad God, but I loved the art style and the stop motion. I'm a sucker for stop motion animation. I'm always just so amazed by what people can do if they just kind of put their mind to it and put enough time into it, you know? Mad God is definitely an interesting movie to say the least. And I think if you are a fan of the art of animation, it is worth a watch. Spine of Night almost looks like it's super beautifully hand-drawn. I have not opened this one, but I did watch it on Shudder. If you are a fan of like mystic, like a mixture of like mystical horror kind of blended together, I would give Spine of Night a shot. Very like folklore-y, but a lot. Nice. It's very brutal. Yeah, I recommend this one quite a bit. Spine of Night.
Well, since you did that, I'm going to go straight to this one because this is very similar. You've probably heard of this one. This is the Pied Piper. It's also from Deaf Crocodile. It's the same thing. It's like very dark, creepy stop motion animation.
They're very Mad God-y. Yeah.
Yeah. You can see what the actual animation looks like. There's the guy. Sorry, my light is.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I can see.
But yeah, this looks super cool. It looks very similar to that. I don't think it's maybe not as realistic as that Mad God looked, but I've heard great things about this. I haven't actually got a chance to watch this yet. This is a newer Deaf Crocodile one, and this was actually my wife got this for me for Christmas. I'm gonna brag on her a little bit, but this was the Kickstarter exclusive. So they do like different like special slipcovers that are even more limited than the limited editions. So very happy with this. This is one of my prized possessions. But I love stop motion too. I'm exactly there with you, and I'll talk about some other stop motion things here in a minute.
You know what? That is an avenue I've never even thought about looking. Kickstarted physical media. Does that happen a lot? I'm not in that wheelhouse at all.
I'm very new to it. I've actually done my first one now. Deaf Crocodile just did a box set. It was very cool because they've put out 3 films by this Russian director, Alexander Ptushko, and they were putting out his 4th film. And when they did that, they released a box set that houses all 4 of them. So I kickstarted that because it was just like $25 for the box set and the 4th film. And now, so that hasn't come in yet. I just did that like a couple weeks ago. Nice. So that's my first one. So I'm new to it as well.
I need to look more. I didn't even think that did not register in my mind at all as a possibility. I need to.
Yeah, I don't know how common it is. I don't know if that's new or what.
Like
but
4 or 5 years ago, I kickstarted like 5 or 6 board games. Like I had my Kickstarter board game kick that I brought in. But yeah, physical media was not a thing at that time. I'll definitely have to look to see if it is, if it's a bigger thing now. Let's see here. I will. I'll showcase a few, but I will kind of like go through them really quickly because all of these movies are Pixar titles, but I'm a Steelbook guy. So I like to talk about some boutique Steelbook lines. Kimchi DVD is over in Japan. Here is one for The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, that's nice.
People crap on this movie all the time. I enjoy it.
I love that movie. I don't know what people are smoking. That movie makes me cry. Like as a dad, that movie gets me, especially the beginning. Like having a kid that we don't need to. I'll review that movie right now because I will fight to the death for that movie. Like
Good Dinosaur is great. So I got this for dirt cheap. This was like $25.
Oh, that's nice.
And the texture pops on the box are insane. The Steelbook is embossed. Looks, pretty basic, but still nice for $25. Comes with character cards and stickers, like in a booklet. This thing is just jam packed, and that's why I like premium Steelbooks. Comes with a lot of very cool stuff. Sticking with Kimchi DVD, I have one for Inside Out as well.
That's
just
appropriate.
Looking mighty nice. Got some gloss pops and some like glitter mixed in with the slipcover too, or the box, which is kind of crazy. It also comes with a slipcover that kind of busts out some emotions. So cool. And this is like one of my favorite Steelbooks I own. There's embossing and debossing on Steelbooks for me just make the whole release like that much better, in my opinion. I think a sucker looks so sharp.
That's awesome.
Let's see here, slide this back here. I've got 2 more premiums to show off really quick. The next one, another Kimchi DVD, The Incredibles. When I started collecting Steelbooks, I got heavy into the premiums because I wanted to have like the best case example of what I could find for movies that I absolutely love. And I like the simplicity of this Steelbook. Again, one of my favorites is just, Mr. Incredible tearing off his clothes. And then on the inside, he's flying, but he's got like a belly gut holding him up. Just cute stuff.
Those are awesome. I've tried to get into like the luxury label. I can never get them. They go out of print like minutes after they launch. Yeah. I don't know how people get them.
One thing about premium Steelbooks, I'll talk about that while I'm showing off Onwards, the last one. This one's from Film Arena. Yeah, this one's from Film Arena. There are only 750 of these printed. Like it has the number on the very bottom. So if you're not there hour 1, you're not going to get your hands on it. So it's very like you got to be in the know on some of these things, which is kind of annoying. But once you have them in your collection, you're like, man, I don't care if this is very annoying. I want to try and fight and get some of these.
Yeah, they're outrageous on eBay afterwards. Like I have a few, like I have a World Cinema Library of Eric Romer movies. I have Once, I think from HD Zeta, and then I have Across the Spider-Verse from WEET collection. Nice. But that's all I got. I would love to have, there's so many. I would love to have WEET's version of what's that movie called? Dang it, I can't think of it. The sci-fi movie that was Denis Villeneuve's second sci-fi movie after or before Blade Runner. Dang it, what is it called? Arrival. One of my favorite movies ever. I would love to get that, but it's like $150 just for one movie. I can't do it.
It's hard to justify it for sure. If you're not there day one, like these brand new go for around like $60-$70. And if you don't get it day one, doubles just like that. You don't even have to think about it. It just goes up.
Yeah, that's crazy. I I'll quickly run through some if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
A couple more Deaf Crocodile. There's a Bubble Bath, which looks absolutely crazy, like psychedelic 80s.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's nuts.
Jeez.
Haven't seen that one yet. Also, Heroic Times. If you're a big like high fantasy sword and sorcery guy, this looks really cool. It's actually like animated paintings. So they actually, every frame is like a painting, and then they animate those. That's crazy. I'm going to talk briefly about a director named Martin Rosen, because he has a film in the Criterion Collection, which we'll probably talk about in a second. But you've probably heard of Watership Down. So that's in the Criterion Collection. But he also has another one from Shout Select called The Plague Dogs. Both of these not for kids, very adult, very depressing.
Watership Down, and yes, I can attest to that.
So yeah, I just found out about Shout Select's Plague Dogs. It's a very early spy number. It's like 41, which is nice. Pretty cool. Got that in a recent sale from them. Yellow Submarine is a crazy 60s animated movie that I just watched for the first time. This actually was being made at the same time for the movie that we're about to talk about today. All very similar, and that actually inspired this director, which is Marcel Jankovics, who is a Hungarian director. Highly recommend this guy's stuff. It's very similar to Yellow Submarine visually, but he does more like folk tales and myths. This is Son of the White Mare, which is his most famous work, but it also includes Janos Vites, which is another Hungarian film animated by him, same guy. And those are really cool. Like just the imagery in there is super like, it's very hard to explain, but it's very like fairy tale mythical kind of stuff. I really like his stuff. Another guy who does kind of similar stuff is Michael Ocelot, who does more like fairy tale stuff. So this is Tales of the Night, which is kind of a vignette film based on like myths like Arabian Nights. He's also done Kirikou and the Sorceress, which is a African folklore animated film. And he did Azure and Asmar, which is like a Middle Eastern folklore film. So he's really big into that kind of stuff. Very unique animation styles. And this guy's recent. These are like in the 90s and early 2000s. So those are crazy. Those were on Criterion Channel for a little bit. I don't think they are anymore. And then you'll love this stop motion guy. Jan Svankmajer is a Czech. He's a Czech animator, Czech filmmaker. Creepy stuff. Like this is his film Alice. I don't know if you've seen this or like seen pictures of this. It's awesome. It's maybe my favorite adaptation of Alice in Wonderland now. Like it's all fully stop motion. She's the only like human in it, and the rest.
Yeah, I like that concept.
It's super cool. He also did a Faust, a version of Faust, and other like shorts. He does really creepy, unsettling stop motion, which I love a lot. And then one other filmmaker, last one here, is Lottie Reniger, who is a very influential animator all the way back from the 20s. Like she was huge, and she's a female animator, and she did this film, The Adventures of Prince Ahmed, which is like an adaptation of like some Arabian Nights as well. But she does the exact same animation as what we're about to talk about tonight, which is paper cutouts. So it's not actually drawn. It is drawn. Well, and then you cut it out, and then you actually move the paper like in stop motion. So it is stop motion. But this is super influential. And she's got some other shorts as well, but this is like her big pieces, Prince Ahmed. So that's from a little tiny boutique label called Milestone.
I haven't heard of them.
The Milestone Cinematheque. Yeah, they're very, very small. They don't have too much, but had to grab that from them because that was something I checked out on Criterion Channel, which is a Criterion streaming service.
Are you big into that? I've never subscribed to their subscription.
Yeah, it's the only one I use. It's great. Yeah. It's the best. And you'll love it because they put all the supplements on there, like all the Criterions that have supplements, they're on there, and they've also got like their own original series where they have directors come on and talk about some of their favorite movies, and it's called like a trip through cinema land or whatever. Like there's so much extra stuff. They even have commentaries on there and stuff. It's really cool.
I need to check that out. Can you like put that on? Are there apps for that, or can you only watch it on like laptops and phones and stuff?
No, they have. I mean, if you have Fire Stick, it's on there. Even my Samsung, like just regular TV, has an app. Yeah, they're great.
I guess I haven't looked hard enough. Yeah, I use gaming services like I have PlayStation, Xbox stuff, and usually they have apps for everything. Yeah. I don't remember ever seeing Criterion on there though. I'll need to look a little bit harder for sure.
Yeah, maybe if they have it. I know some. My friend's not able to get it on his TV, but my Samsung had it.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'll do two more that aren't Criterion, and they're kind of. Not cheating, but stretching a little bit, I will say. This is from Culture Shock, a sub-label of Vincent from OCN Direct. This is called Deathcember, which is a anthology film about Christmas, all that stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Pretty much garbage. Like a lot of the anthologies are not good, but my favorite one is a stop motion animated one about it's got like the little guy on here. The main reason why this is the main reason why I'm keeping this, because normally if I have a movie in my collection, I watch it, I don't like it, I get rid of it because I just don't have the space or the time to rewatch movies I don't like. Yeah. But I'm keeping this one just because of that little guy right there. He's the stop motion animation person, and it's like 5 minutes long. And I tell you what, if you watch this short, you will not forget it anytime soon. It's brutal. It's brutal to say the least. And last but not least, we're talking about animation. Oscilloscope Laboratories. I love that boutique label, and they don't get enough love. Have you seen the documentary Clay Dream?
I have not. I know what it is. I did a order from them a little while ago, but that was sold out. They're the nice limited edition.
Oh, is it sold out? Shoot. Yeah. It's an amazing documentary. It's about the man who kind of made like the Yonoid commercials, the California raisins, all that type of stuff. The business that he grew and the business that was taken away from him almost. Mm-hmm. And it's a wild story.
Just that box is so nice.
Yes, I'll showcase all this because his animation is great. And one of the main reasons why I'm showcasing this one right now is because every single short film that he made is on this set as bonus features. There are like 20. There are 20. Yeah.
Way to bury the lead. I thought it was just the documentary. What?
I know, right? Yeah. Will Vinton is his name. And his story is crazy. The documentary is worth the watch alone. But after that, you can dig into every single thing that he's ever made. And it just makes this documentary that much more inspiring and heart-crushing. Like, I don't want to tell you what happened to the company, but once you figure it out, you're like, wow, I've never put two and two together before, and I am so mad that it happened.
That's crazy.
I don't want to bury the lead. I also had like some shout selects of like Coraline, Paranorman, all that stuff. I didn't grab those because those are kind of
like the studios back there. Yeah.
But everybody I guess I'll go into Criterion because I only have two.
Well, real quick. Sorry, I forgot to mention these. These are, like you said, they're stop motion. So they're live action mixed with stop motion. But I have to shout out to I shouted out Indicator earlier because they do the best box sets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen these Harryhausen box sets.
I've seen them. I don't have them, but they look gorgeous.
They are amazing. They did 3 of them. So that's his Sinbad trilogy. Then here's 3 other movies. This is Harryhausen Volume 2.
Oh, man.
They have a booklet in there, and each one has its own case. And then this is Harryhausen Volume 1. Like, the artwork on them is absolutely crazy. These were like, when I first started the YouTube channel, these were like the first big things I really like spent a lot of money on because I really wanted to get these. Then, of course, right after I did, they did a second print. They did a second print run. So I I should have just waited. But these are the original 6,000 run. Not that that means anything anymore, but I was very happy to get these. And I did like a kick where I went through I have all of his movies, but I think those are the only ones that are from boutique labels. They're super nice.
As long as it means something to you, DJ, it still means something, okay? You'll never forget.
But yeah, his stop motion animation is legendary. It's awesome. But it is live action. It's mixed with live action.
Sure. Well, the next one I have is stop motion, and it's one that I would say if you are dipping your toe into Criterion and you're just kind of figuring out what it is, or maybe you're a fan of Wes Anderson, you got to have Fantastic Mr. Fox in your collection.
I didn't know which way you were going because there's 2 stop motions, but yeah, it's so good.
See, I got the big boy box.
See, I'm jealous. That's the Blu-ray DVD combo pack. I want that. That's how petty I am. It's like I want that. Right. I don't want to rebuy it, but yeah.
Is it the same imagery on the inside then? I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think they just they put out a slimmer version with just the Blu-ray.
I just have like the 3 discs. Like I have a few of these from Criterion. I've been collecting Criterion since 2008. Yeah, just off and on. And I have like a Scanners, which is like a big box set like this. I have a few of these that I didn't realize were harder to get because I've had them in the collection for a while.
Yeah, when I bought this, I didn't know there was the out of print like combo pack version, so I just grabbed it.
Right.
But it's great. It's wonderful. Yeah. Watch it every fall. Like it's such a
It is, yes.
Lush
my kids love it too, thank God, because we say what the cuss to each other all the time. It's That is just common vocabulary in our house. Yeah.
That's great.
But the next one, the last one I have, when this got announced, this is the rare exception to where I bought it and it was not on sale. I needed Wally in
Oh
the
yeah,
collection. I love this sucker so much. I love the artwork on here.
that's a
It just
big boy
pops so
too.
much. Yeah. This is my favorite Pixar movie. And this also has some of Andrew Stanton's short films on here as supplemental. Like whenever I get free movies included with the movie that I buy, nothing better. There's nothing better.
Oh, absolutely. Like they released Petite Maman earlier this year, and it comes with a full. I should have grabbed that. I totally forgot. It comes with the full animated movie by the same director,
Okay.
Which is My Zucchini Life or something. I can't
Oh
remember
yeah,
exactly what it's
My
called.
Life is a Zucchini. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
So they had. I was like, I got to grab that. I haven't seen, and I've watched Petite Maman, but I haven't watched that. So that's an animated movie that's in the collection. It's just
Yeah.
a bonus feature.
Yeah.
And then going on along the lines of Fantastic Mr. Fox, earlier or at the end of last year, they released Pinocchio.
Oh, okay. That is one that is going to be on my list to pick up because I love that. I adore this movie.
Yeah, it's so
That's
cool.
so nice.
Like
The
the
packaging,
pop-up packaging.
Mhm.
So that's one. That's another one. If you're like not into Criterion, you want like more modern stuff. Like there you go. That's a modern movie.
I don't know about you, but like Netflix movies, they just get lost unless like you're really in the mood and type it in. You're never going to find anything you're really wanting to watch. It's just their original stuff, and majority of the time it's garbage.
Yeah. And they never get releases. I'm still waiting for Tick Tick Boom. And then I already mentioned Watership Down, which is by that same director. That's in the collection. And then this is another like director that blends different mediums. So he uses stop motion, he uses paper cutouts as well. He uses live action, all kinds of stuff. Carol Zeman. You asked me what like one of my favorite releases. This is absolutely one of my favorite releases in the collection. It's so nice. It's 3 films. It's called 3 Fantastic Journeys by Karel Zeman. He's a Czech director. He's from Czechoslovakia, and he does these crazy fantasy movies. There's 3 movies in here, and they're all great. I love all of them. This is good for kids too, if you want to show your kids. Journey to the Beginning of Time. It's like a time travel movie where they see dinosaurs and everything. Invention for Destruction is like
that looks cool.
This crazy Jules Verne like adaptation that looks like every frame looks like an etching, like just an art piece. And then The Fabulous Baron Munchausen is the 3rd one, and all of these pop out.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's amazing.
Like this is one of the coolest packaging.
Is that still in print?
Oh yeah, you can get this tomorrow for 50% off. It's great.
Oh my god! Okay, I need to start a list. That's amazing.
Absolutely one of my favorite releases from Criterion, and this is one of my favorite directors. Karel Zeman was super instrumental in early animation. He like started the whole paper cutout thing, and that's why this movie that we're talking about today was done in Czechoslovakia, because they were big into paper cutouts, and that's how this is animated. So
yes,
you can thank old Carol for getting things started. He was big in like the 60s, the 50s and 60s, right before this movie came out. So
okay. So that's really all the criteria on animated movies?
Yeah, they don't have much. They had very little until Wall-E and Pinocchio came out. It was like just bare minimum. That's another big gripe with Criterion is they need more animation. Like Fantastic Planet and Watership Down was all they had for a long time. That's a big, like in the groups, people complain about that. On Reddit and stuff, people complain about that. They need to get more stuff.
Yeah, it's a big genre that you don't have a lot of entries in. I mean, what do you know what number Criterion's up to now? It's like 1,300 and something, right? Or 1,400 maybe?
13 or 1,400, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm never going to be spine number complete, and which is why I'm never going to arrange them by spine number, because I'm never going to
no,
get all those.
That would drive me insane for sure. But since we talked about it, let's dig a little bit more into Fantastic Planet, because
let's do it.
Dear Lord, I feel like there's a lot to say, and you could go any which way with this movie, because animation style wise, you are just like along for the ride with this thing. In my opinion, it goes all over the place. You can interpret things a lot of different ways. There's like some basic, just basic level type stuff about just like, hey, treat people right, slavery issues. There's a lot of things that you can either dig a little bit into or a lot into, and I'm kind of curious why you decided to talk about Fantastic Planet today.
Yeah, well, I don't know how interesting it's going to be, but I've just been in a big kind of animation mood lately. Deaf Crocodile's been getting me in an animation mood because they've been putting out such cool stuff, and I didn't grab it. I wish I did, but Son of the Stars is another animated movie over there that's very similar. It's from the 80s, right after
Hmm.
this, and it's a sci-fi psychedelic animated movie. It looks just like this. My friend of mine who's been on the channel is writing a book right now in the 80s, and he watched another one of Rene Laloux's films, which is the director of Fantastic Planet, one of his later ones, Time Masters,
Hmm.
for his 80s book, and that got me kind of in the mood. I was like, oh yeah, Rene Laloux, he was cool. I watched Fantastic Planet like a couple of years ago. It was one of the first Criterions I watched, and I liked it, but it didn't like leave a lasting impression. I didn't really remember it that much.
Hmm.
I didn't even notice the first time that I watched it that it was paper cutout animation. I thought it was just
Oh.
animated. Um, but I was like, oh, I need to give that another watch. So I messaged you. I was like, this is one that I want to watch again. I've been in the mood for some sci-fi and some animation, and I've heard about some of his other films. So I actually have since watched those. He only made
Hmm.
3 films. Very, very short career. Unfortunately, he couldn't
And
get.
they're all on this set, which is very, very nice.
Well, actually, the shorts are on this set.
Yeah,
But
the shorts is what I meant.
yeah,
Yeah.
he made 2 other like feature films, and
Oh,
they're
okay.
really hard to get. My friend had to like rent them from the library, or like there's a video store here in town called Videodrome, and one of them I got from there. But those are Time Masters and Gandahar, and those
Hmm.
are very high concept sci-fi ideas, just like these, very cool
Hmm.
stories, but the animation nowhere near as good as this, because he didn't have Roland Topor, who is
Yeah, he
the
kind of
art director.
quit towards the end of Fantastic
Yeah,
Planet.
this burned him out.
Yeah.
This did damage to him, like, psychologically, because it was so much work. He was
Mhm.
overworked. But those 2 together, like you said, the shorts they do on this set, I've watched those too, and they're awesome.
I love Dead Times
It
so
was
much.
so good. I love that
It's so,
style.
and half of it isn't even animated. It's just like imagery, and
Yeah,
it's just illustration, and it looks phenomenal. You don't even care that it's not moving. It
yeah.
it his illustrations speak 1,000 words for sure. And it's just kind of like you're watching art. You're at an exhibit. You're just like, wow, I could just stare at this and come up with my own opinions. And then like just throw in the live action footage that they have in there, and you see like an actual decapitation. It's insane. that
No,
short is insane.
I love his stuff. Like, and I'm not usually like a dark guy. Like, I'm not a big horror guy, but take something about like making it slightly dark humor I like, and
Mhm.
also making it surreal.
Yeah.
It just works. And you're gonna love this box set, because that
Yeah.
Dead Times short is very similar to this style. So
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm
Okay.
excited for you to get in there. But yeah, that Dead Times was awesome. It's like 5 minutes, but it was so
Yeah.
cool. And
Right.
then Last Cargo, the
Yeah, the
snails, was
snail.
so
Mhm.
cool too. It's like just a monster, like a creature feature, with like a little bit. It's like a little fable. And
Yeah,
and
it
I
definitely
love,
is.
yeah, I love, like you said, they keep it. There's like a distance that they keep the audience distant, and it's surreal enough that, and they don't like beat you over the head with what the message is. Like, you can kind of just put in your own message,
Mhm.
really. Like, there's so many different things it could be. Like, for Fantastic Planet, some people, I think mostly what it is like a commentary on the Soviet invasion of
Mm.
France, but people take it as like, for the Holocaust. People take it as
Yes.
for slavery. People take it as for animal cruelty. Like, it can be like whatever you want. Just plug it in there, and
Mhm.
it's super interesting. There's all a bunch of different avenues you can take.
I feel like I liked the short films more than I did Fantastic Planet, because there's so many. I feel like the length, there's just so many routes it can go. And the shorts just felt very like, hey, we have 10 minutes worth of content. It's kind of easy to wrap your brain around. Like they're just going
Mhm.
through one core element, really. And I think that was more, it hit me more. It was more impactful than Fantastic Planet. Fantastic Planet just felt like it had a lot of ideas it was throwing out there. And I feel like I need to rewatch this movie 5 more times to kind of understand
Yeah.
every single second of this.
Well, you might like it a second. Like I said, the first time I had kind of a similar experience where it was just
Mhm.
kind of like a mood piece, and I was like, "Well, that
Yeah.
was cool." But this second time, like preparing for this, I rewatched it earlier this week, and I liked it a lot more. So maybe on a second viewing, you would like it. But it's so much atmosphere, and I feel like Roland Topor perfected the animation in this. Like, I love what the snails look like, obviously, and I love
Yeah.
Dead Times as well. But it just like it's like perfected here, and the
Yeah.
colors are so vibrant, all the cross hatching and like the little details.
Hmm.
You get animation is sacrificed because they can't move as much because they're moving paper cutouts, but the
Yeah.
detail is so much more detailed than like a Disney cartoon from like this time period or something. Like, they're all the little crosshatch details are so nice.
And you can see the evolution from short to short to this feature. Like Dead
Mhm.
Times, there's barely any animation at all. The snail is where you kind of see like him moving, the tears rolling down, like when he's sleeping, his eyes moving back and forth, like very basic
But yeah,
stuff.
the
But we
snails are just kind of being like moved across.
I think he picked snails for a reason because it's something that doesn't have to move
That's true.
incredibly crazy. And then Fantastic Planet happens, and it feels like, wow, yes. I want to say there was like 5 or 6 years in between the snail and Fantastic Planet. They spent a lot of time on this project.
Well, a lot of that was the project was dead for a
Hmm.
while,
Yeah,
because
funding went away. Hmm.
yeah, they lost funding. There was the Soviet invasion in Czechoslovakia, and they had to stop for like 3 years. Like, it was a nightmare to get this movie. It's crazy how well it worked out, with all the troubled production it had. And also, there's actually like the production just stopped. Like, the
Yeah,
Soviets wouldn't make it anymore.
right.
So there's like 4 scenes missing from the final product they just couldn't make. So I didn't notice it the first time, but on a second view, I'm like, oh yeah, it does wrap up real quick. Like,
Fast.
there's there's no
Uh-huh.
like, oh, and I don't want to. I don't know if we do spoilers on this or not, but there's
I
a
don't in this circumstance, I don't think there's a lot to spoil. I mean, the
okay.
story is there, but it's not like the main factor why you're watching it. If I had the story spoiled for me, it might have helped me a little bit
Yeah,
going into
yeah. I
this
don't think it's
movie.
gonna bother
Like,
you. But
okay, I
there's
think I
they
know what I'm
wrap
getting
up.
into.
There's like a war, and like there's a resolution to the war, but it just
Yeah,
is like real quick. They don't show any of the repercussions or anything. It just ends. But
right.
as a bummer, I wish we could have, got the final piece with all the scenes. But still, as a mood piece, as like a tone poem, and the soundtrack. We didn't even talk about the soundtrack yet, but it's
Oh, it's
so
so
good.
good. Oh my god,
Uh,
it just adds to the trippiness factor of everything. And
yeah.
I again, this is the first time I watched it. Listening to the soundtrack while it was going on, I'm like, I've heard this sampled so many times in hip hop songs. Like Rick Ross has done this, Jay Dilla has done this. It's just crazy how, and it kind of makes sense how that culture kind of gravitates towards this movie because there's a lot of like, if you wanted to get psychedelic with this movie, you could very, very easily, for sure.
Yeah, I imagine I haven't done it, but I imagine that this would be a good movie to partake a little,
Yes,
something something
I would
and
think
sit
so as
back
well.
and just
Mhm.
enjoy it because it's hypnotic and like
Yes.
mesmerizing, and you just kind of
Mhm.
let yourself go and just get on the same wavelength as the movie. That's really what you're there. Like, the story is a simple framework just to kind of make you think about some important ideas,
Yeah.
but the execution is really what's there. Like, and I think this is the culmination of all. This is the best example of a world that they built together. Like I said, the
Mhm.
other two features that I saw, they're really cool too. There's some scenes with like some really cool sci-fi world building, but it's not as tight as this. Like, every scene with like the nature and the animals and how things work and the technology and stuff in this is so cool, well thought out, and designed flawlessly.
You know, this reminds me a little bit of like whenever I have the podcast, I have the movie on as well. And so I'm just seeing like random things thrown on,
Oh,
kind of
cool.
brings things back. Gives me some Dune vibes a little bit.
I was thinking that the whole time this time. I was like, and it was written, the book was written before Dune, because the book, it's based on a book that was written in 57 and
Hmm,
Dune was written in like 65.
okay.
But I was like, he's Paul, man. Like, there's like this kid who's like gets taken out, and he's in this like rebellion, this group of rebellion,
Hmm.
he had this female that he was following around who was just like Zendaya the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
I can't remember that character's name, so I just call her Zendaya. But yeah, it was very Dune, and it's just like the same. It was in the zeitgeist, man. There was all these sci-fi books, like another book that came out around the same time. You might know it, La Planète des Singas, or the American name Planet of the Apes. That
Hmm,
book was written in 1963, right around the same time, right when they started working on this movie. So like,
sure. Something
there's
was in
some,
the air. Yeah.
yeah, that's what they were into at that time. And this was actually, like we said, it started way earlier. Like, it was supposed to be a 60s movie.
Hmm.
It was supposed to come out in like 67, 68, and then it got pushed all the way to 73, which is crazy. But
Right.
it's very 60s. The soundtrack is very like, I'm a Scooby Doo kid. I grew up watching Scooby
Mm,
Doo, and there's a couple stings on some of the tracks, like La Femme, where it's like it sounds just like a Scooby Doo sting
sure.
in a soundtrack. Scooby Doo, by the way, very good soundtrack. If you go back and listen to that, very groovy. The
It's been a
original, the
minute since I've seen
60s.
any Scooby Doo. Yeah. No.
The 60s stuff is really cool. But yeah, I love the soundtrack. I love the animation. It's just kind of I imagine it'd be a cool movie to watch with people too. I didn't do that. My wife had no interest, so I had to watch it by
My
myself.
wife fell asleep because she's like, "This isn't for me."
Yeah, same. But I
Mhm.
imagine like watching that with a group of friends would be really, really good time.
Yeah, last week, every now and again, I'm able to like get together with like 3 or 4 friends and we watch movies and it just makes the experience that much better. I feel like this one, they either all would have been on board or they all would have just been crapping on the movie the entire time. I don't know what way that teeter-totter would have went.
Yeah, I had no idea how you because I'm new to your channel. I know you're a big horror guy, but I know
Mhm.
you collect steelbooks. I've been watching some of the podcasts, so I'm a little bit familiar. But
Yeah.
I had no idea how you were gonna how you were gonna
Yeah.
react to this. I was like, I hope he likes this.
I'm all over the board. Like I have watched classics like 12 Angry Men, which I'd never seen before, and then
Yeah,
I've watched random garbage like demons horror and god a lot of all over the gambit. Like my I don't have any in particular taste. I like a little bit of everything, and this is a movie that I have wanted to watch probably close to a decade now because it's always been in there. It's always been like out in the aura, and I love animation. I've loved animation forever. It's just like it's one of those things. I want to say it hit like Rolling Stone 50 best animated movies of all time. I want to say it was like kind of higher on there, and I'm like, this is one I'd never really heard of up until this article. I should probably go out and watch this. You brought it up. This face has always just been like, yeah, I feel like I need to understand what this is about. And I'm glad that I watched it. I will probably watch this again in a couple of years. There's a documentary on this sucker that I haven't had time to go with. There's like a TV special with the director I have not had a chance to watch either. I just watched the short films, but there's a lot to dig into, and I am excited to watch it again just because I think that I will like be better prepared of what I'm getting into, I guess.
yeah, I recommend. I loved both of those. The documentary is actually only like 28 minutes, 30 minutes, and it's
Yeah.
just an interview with the director, and it's really good. The TV thing is hilarious. It's the illustrator, so it's the other writer.
Oh,
They write
okay.
them together,
Hmm.
and the TV episode starts with him just like half naked in his bed. Like the camera comes in, and is like, "Hey, we're doing an interview," and he's just like wakes up out of bed with this like hairy chest hanging out, and he's hilarious. Like he immediately starts saying things, and the guy's like, "That's not true." So you can't even tell like if he's like being a reliable narrator at all. He's just talking about his life and
Sure.
his dad was an artist too, and his dad was in a concentration camp and escaped. Like so,
Mm.
there's a little bit of that in there. They're super cool guys. They're both really funny, and I recommend those little interviews. Those are really nice. Not a lot of supplements on this one, but the ones that are there are really cool. I
Yeah.
enjoyed them quite a bit.
Mhm, and there doesn't need to be a lot of extra features as long as the ones that are there definitely carry their weight. So that's good to hear that the other ones I haven't seen have.
Mhm.
There one thing that we haven't talked about yet. I don't know how you like to watch your movies, but every time I pop in a movie, I put on subtitles. Like that's just how my brain works,
Oh,
especially
every
with
movie.
kids. Yes, especially with kids and like when they were super young, didn't want to wake them up. I was just used to like watching things at a very low level and having subtitles on. Watching
Oh,
subtitles, I watched the combination of subtitles and English dub, and everything was all over the place. Like the words did not match up with the subtitles. I don't know if the English dub was just like done terribly or what, but vastly different experiences.
oh, I haven't watched the English dub. I didn't even know there was an English dub on there. Yeah, I watched the French version. I watch subtitles, for international stuff, but I don't like it on like English stuff because I look at it too much and I miss what's happening. I
Oh,
can't
sure.
not look at it. Like I'm so distracted by it. That's what's hard about international films is especially visually striking ones like this. Like I want to look at the visuals, but
Hmm.
I have to read the whole time. But
Right.
this is actually very there's a lot of silent segments.
Yeah.
There's the long stretches with no
A lot of no
dialogue.
dialogue, and the music is carrying a lot of like
Mhm.
the setting almost. Like it makes you just focus in on what the illustrations that you're seeing, and yeah, it's just mesmerizing. Like I feel like this
Yeah,
movie is
it's a good
just like
word.
one that you're just like it's gonna be in here for a while, and I feel
Yeah,
like I'll want to watch it again sooner rather than later.
super striking imagery that you're not going to forget.
Right.
I don't know for sure. I'm not an anime guy. Like I've seen some Studio Ghibli films like you mentioned, but I haven't
Mhm.
seen any other stuff. But I feel like this might strike a chord with anime fans because it's kind of similar, like low budget, where they have to use their motion minimally, and like a lot of the scenes are just kind of stationary.
Sure.
So if you're a big anime guy, maybe check this out. It'll probably, I mean, if you appreciate animation at all, you'll
Mhm.
probably love it.
See, the vibe I was grabbing, like I said, I think it's more of like a sci-fi fan. Like I talked
Yeah,
about
that's
Dune,
true.
the first Star Wars. Like I got a lot of vibes from the first Star Wars, just like the setting, just kind of just wandering through different worlds that the
Yeah.
first movie is able to do. That's kind of what this movie is. Like you have no idea what's going on half the time. You're just like in a world where you've never been before and you're just watching random things happen. And I couldn't get enough of that. I was just like kind of coming into awe of what I was watching, and I was trying to like dig any information I could. It was this movie's an experience, man.
No, that's a great call out, and I would say his other 2 films even more so feel like Star Wars. There's, like, planet
Mm,
hopping in those ones, and there's, like, a bounty hunter that's, like, going to find, and there's, like, wars going on, and there's literally, like, Nazi robots in the 3rd one that are, like, taking over. So, if you like this, and you like those are really hard to track down. There's no Blu-rays. There's only, like, old DVDs that
I
you
was
can
gonna say, are they
find
on
on
YouTube?
eBay.
Like I feel like everything that is hard to
Maybe.
find physically is on YouTube.
Maybe, yeah. They're
Mhm.
the Time Masters and Gandahar. Those are the 2 titles. If you like this, they don't look like this. They're different animation styles. They look more like what we were doing in the 80s with like Hanna-Barbera, like TV stuff, like that
Oh,
kind of
sure. Hmm.
He-Man kind of style. But
Reused backgrounds and stuff, or
yeah, probably. But the
yeah.
backgrounds are awesome because they're
Okay.
Rene Laloux stuff. So the
Hmm.
sci-fi stuff is all intricate and cool. And there's naked blue people, and that's his trademark, I guess.
Cool. I think that is all I had. I really wanted to touch on the subtitle thing, but other than that, like I got just the mystical thing of like Dr. Seuss almost. Like, especially there's a creature in a cage with a weird branch-like nose. Like there are just
Yeah.
like certain instances where I'm like, this is very Seussian, or maybe Seuss got some inspiration from this. I really don't know, but I
Yeah.
could spot the similarities.
No, it's crazy because I wrote down inspiration or like things that it reminded me of too, and it's Dune, Planet of the Apes, Yellow Submarine, and Dr. Seuss. Like we were like
There you
right on the same page.
go.
Like it's definitely like if Dr. Seuss ever, well, he did do a movie. If you've seen that movie, that's a crazy movie. It's not animated, but
Right.
it's an indicator release. It's
I've
the
heard of it. I have not seen it. Yeah.
five thousand fingers of Dr.
I've
Something.
heard it's insane. Yeah.
It's pretty insane. But that's a
Mhm.
family movie you can show your kids.
Sure.
My kids liked it. But yeah, it looks like if he did if he just expanded one of his books out into like his earlier books, like before he did like I don't know if you read those to your kids, but like Cat in the Hat and all those are not
It did.
that
Yep.
fun to read.
Mhm.
But like his earlier ones, like the 5,000 Hats of Bartholomew Cubbins, or like the horrible Oobleck or whatever, those are cool. Like I like those stories. They're like it's more of a fantasy like world, the kingdom, instead of just like straight up nonsense like his later stuff.
As
But
I
that's
said, you
what
dug deeper into Dr. Seuss than I did for my kids. I played the hits with Dr. Seuss.
yeah, I'm the same way with books as I am with movies. I want them to. I'm trying to give them a better child than I had, because all we did was watch like crappy straight to VHS like kids movies as a kid, and
Mhm.
I'm just now finally playing catch up on all the classics. Like I wasn't very well educated in film as a kid. I was watching just like
Sure.
straight to DVD stuff.
My kids liked that before they hit school, and then, like, once they hit school, they got, like, other kids saying, "Watch this YouTube video." So, like, a lot of the time, they
Oh
like to watch
no.
that type of stuff as opposed to what I'm trying to kind of, like, cone them into, like, "Hey, I feel like you need to watch this, this, and this. You'll find appreciation for this." Like, "Dad, I don't wanna do
Yeah.
homework. I just wanna enjoy myself." I'm like,
Oh,
"Yeah,
this
I
could be
get
a
it."
whole podcast because I'm the same way. Like I'm over here like I have to show them black and white films before I get them into color so that they don't,
Mhm.
because some people have a problem going back to black and white. And I'm like, I have to
Right.
show them 2D animation before I show them any 3D animation. I don't want to show them that yet because once they go there, they might not be able to go back. So I have to get them familiar with 2D first. And then he'll come home from school having watched Monsters Inc. or something. I'm like, oh, what are you showing the Monsters Inc. at school for? Like Inside Out or something. So it's a struggle to try to keep it like to keep them on my little film college that I'm trying to get
Right.
them to go through.
It's rough, man. Sometimes they just don't want to study like that. I'm just saying, yeah. But yes, I'm the same way. I try to. That's one of the reasons why I have a big collection, because I always rented movies because we didn't have a lot of movies growing up. It was always just an experience browsing and like
Mhm.
getting titles and pulling them out that speak with you visually. and then popping the disc in. Like, it's a whole experience. They just want to watch random stuff, either streaming or YouTube, and it's just like, maybe it's just a generational thing. I don't know.
Keep up the good fight, man. You can do it.
That's the plan. Before we end this, one of the people that watches this, Happy Optimist, he always throws out what your 4 favorite films are. I don't know if you're a big Letterboxd guy or not.
I am, but what I do on Letterboxd, I switch it up all the time. I do like a theme.
Sure.
So, and I can't pull it up right now because I'm using my phone as a camera. But so the theme I have right now is summer movies. Before that, I had musicals set because we just did like a musical May marathon on the channel. So I'm trying to pull up what I have here. Sorry about the.
No, while you're doing that, here is another question he asked. What music did you grow up on?
Oh, that's that might be even tougher.
Oh no! I thought that was a layup.
I'm kind of doing the same thing with music that I'd had to do with movies. I grew up in a very like sheltered, like religious household. So I was mostly listening to like Christian music.
That was me too, man. Like
so
DC talk was.
Yeah, so I could talk to you probably for hours. So which I still, and I don't like. It's not like I turned away and like hate that stuff. I still am nostalgic for that kind of stuff. But I don't know any classics. Like when Guardians of the Galaxy came out and everyone's like playing that soundtrack, like I had never heard any of those songs before. Like these are all like big hits, and I'm like, my wife loves that soundtrack, and I'm playing catch up on music. But yeah, it was mostly I was a big rock kid. I liked metal. I kind of went all over the place. I liked hip hop and rap. I liked heavy metal, and I also liked like the big electronic and techno and trance and house stuff that was going on in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like I said, my parents are martial artists. We were a martial arts family. I was on the performance team. I would go like, you got to use like techno music for those kind of performances.
Sandstorm, I bet, was used to death.
Yeah. All that stuff. So that was so yeah, I don't really have like a specific genre. I kind of just listen to, whatever. I was more of a lyrics guy, like a content guy. As long as I like the lyrics, I didn't really care about the genre. But my 4 films right now that I have, since I'm doing my favorite summer films, are The Way Back. If you haven't seen The Way Back,
great.
Perfect summer movie. It takes place
love
in a
coming of
water
age
park.
movies. I have a soft spot for those.
Exactly. So good. We're on the same page. A Summer Tale by Eric Romer, one of my favorite directors, just got released in the Criterion Collection a couple months ago. He did this whole series, Tale of 4 Seasons. So there's an autumn one, a winter one, a summer one, and a fall one. They're just very laid back, like conversational romance films. Tale of Summer is excellent. It's I don't know, it's very hits close to home. Moonrise Kingdom, summer camp movie. I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. That's my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
Me
so
too.
That's man, we can just start another podcast?
Go over here.
And then 4th favorite summer movie, also a Criterion movie, is Monsieur Hulot's Holiday, which is a Jacques Tati film. He was a French New Wave director that did like almost silent comedy, like the character never talks. Think like Mr. Bean in French. And this movie is about him going on like a vacation at the shore and just getting on into all these crazy hijinks. Your kids would love it. My kids love it. Very, very funny movie. Check out all of Jacques Tati's films. That character was like all of his films. His name's Monsieur Hulot, and he only did like 5 or 6 films. So that box set's excellent. I recommend that from Criterion as well. It's so good.
Very, very interesting. Okay. I got some homework to do. I also have like a nice list of movies to get on the Criterion sale going on tomorrow for the majority of July. So yeah, I'm one of the suckers that goes there at least twice a month, probably go there a third time, maybe weekly. That has happened before. I don't know with Kino and Criterion sales going at the same time. I don't know which one is going to get the heavier load this time, but I'm definitely hitting both up. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be there. Like this is my biggest time of year. Like that's what my channel started with, was like the going into the stores and hunting for the Criterions. And that's always been my biggest videos. So I can't disappoint. I got to go in and do as many haul videos as I can.
That's the last thing that we'll talk about before we end this. The sad state of Barnes and Noble Criterion section, or just physical media in general.
They're dwindling, man.
The last sale that they had, like they still have all the space, but they're filling it with like board games and stuff. There's like barely any movies there anymore. And I guess it's not selling that well if it's not on sale, but it's still just a bummer to see that dwindle. It just doesn't feel the same anymore.
Yeah, like I said, that was the big thing that kicked off my channel. And then every year I go back and the section's getting smaller and smaller. Mine's just all anime. Like this, so they just have all the, like, why do you have books back in the media section? The whole store is books. What are you putting it back here for?
Right.
And it's like it's just a really small section. In the November sale, we had to like have them order a bunch of stuff for us, which is something you guys can do. They'll order anything and you can pick it up in the store and it'll still be on sale. But that's no fun. Like I want to hunt, I want to look for stuff, and I've kind of picked over all the stuff that they have, and I have to get stuff ordered in.
Well, at least you can order it in, and you can still make content, right?
Yeah, I'll order it in. I'll go put it on the shelf and like pretend that I found it. But no, I got a list. I use the wish list function on their website, and I'm gonna try to get some stuff. I'm not gonna go too crazy, but I always get some friends together and we go and hunt and shoot some conversations in the store. So if you like those kind of videos, head over. Films by Color, that's the name, and we talk a lot about Criterion over there.
I was gonna say, is there anything else you want to plug? Is the YouTube the main form people can get in contact you with? Yeah,
I have a TikTok. I have an Instagram. I got on TikTok and I was really into it, and I jumped up I grew way faster than YouTube. I found growth over there much faster, but I just couldn't keep up with it. Like I couldn't. It's great because you're supposed to just make quick little videos. I'm too much of a perfectionist. I can't. It takes me like just as long to make a 30-minute long TikTok video that it does to make like a YouTube video, just because I edit it so much. So it was just like, it wasn't, and I don't know how to make money on TikTok. So I can't, I had to focus all my efforts on YouTube, and I was like, I'm just going to stay here and put all my energy into this. So I have an Instagram and TikTok, but it's mostly just YouTube. I have a podcast that's only on YouTube, and it's called Criterion Corner. And we just go through and talk about, it's very similar to this, but I'm jealous of you that you can talk about all boutiques, because there's so many boutiques that I want to talk about, but like, it's just Criterion. So
when I made the podcast, I made sure just to make it as broad as I possibly could, because I'm like, I like a lot of different things. So I want to make sure I can talk a little bit about them, because give me the schlock and give me the class and everything in between. And yes, it's all good for me.
Yeah, no, I'm super jealous. Love the podcast. I'm going to be a listener from now on. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm honored that you wanted to bring me over.
Absolutely. Yeah. I am a newer fan of your channel as well. I think I've only known about it for the past like 3-4 months, but I have quickly went in your backlog, watched a lot of your movies. I am a big fan of your content as well. So I'm glad that you hopped on the podcast as well. This conversation's been a blast.
Oh, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. We're slow growing, but we're starting to get some little momentum. So it's been a lot of fun.
If you're not following Films by Color, definitely do so. He's got some great physical media content over there. And at the end of each episode, I like to plug what the next episode is going to be. Ooh. So next week, I am going to be talking about Kino Lorber on here for the first time, finally focusing on that label. And we're going to talk about the new release, Crybaby, with Last Movie Standing. He, again, another channel that I've recently become a big fan of. And he made a video saying how much he liked this movie, but didn't really review the movie. So I've never seen Crybaby before, but I've heard both from him and I want to say Ken from Mid-Level Media. They both said like this is one of the best transfers Kino Lorber has ever done. So I'm very excited to dig in because I have not yet.
Wow, I'm excited to listen. And I just have to say, I love your logo. That's just such a cool logo idea. Did you come up with that?
I came up with the idea and the letters to use. My friend, who is a big into graphic design, he made my logo and he made that logo. I'm very, very fortunate to have a friend that's good at that stuff because I'm so definitely not.
I am a graphic designer. That's what I do. That's my day job. So
nice.
I loved that you were able to get all those letters into that logo.
Yeah, I that's why your intro looks so clean. That makes so much sense. Okay, very, very good. Yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks again, DJ, for coming on. This has been episode number 33 of Boutique Talk.
Wow.
And until next time, I'll see you.
Bye, guys.